Hello, and thank you for joining us. This is No Soundbites Allowed, and I am your host, Michael Voss, Dragon of the Southern Tier. I'm happy to be here with you today, April 9th of 2022, and I want to speak about something that's important, something that is affecting everyone on the internet, but you may not be noticing it. Something that is devastating lives across the United States and around the world, and it's happening behind the scenes. It's something that you probably don't notice yet, but it's something that's growing and you're becoming more aware of it by the day. And it's something that's been troubling us for quite some time. And we're going to go into details on this and how it's affecting your life going forward. But before we do that, we first want to mention if this is the first time you're seeing our channel, we welcome you and we thank you for being part of our audience. In addition, we want you to know that we do long-form political commentary. And every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do a live stream with you. We reach out on all the social media that the internet overlords will allow to be able to hear your voice, to hear what you have to say in chats, tweets, and even phone calls from anywhere in the world. Because we believe in the First Amendment. It's not just an American right, it is a right by birth of everyone to be able to speak freely. And even if your government does not agree, even if the internet overlords don't agree, we want to hear your voice every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we hope to see you this Sunday as well. The internet is a weird place. I think we all recognize that. You can find just about anything and everything you could possibly want. It is literally the modern-day Library of Alexandria. But like the Library of Alexandria, many things are burning away. Information is being lost or hidden and subverted from your attention. And that's kind of troubling. It's dangerous because knowledge is power. And when people take away knowledge from you, you have less power. Less power to live your life, less power to guide your government, less of an ability to be the human being that we are in the 21st century. This is something that's affecting us directly, just like everyone else. Now, what we're talking about is censorship. We're talking about shadow banning. It's something you hear many times from many channels. And you may be surprised. It's a fact that we have for many years have been on, we've had our own channel, our own website. We are on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Minds, Odyssey, Rumble, even BitChute. We've been on a lot of different formats, and we are to this day. Except there's a problem, because we aren't exactly on all these different social media mediums. Because intermittently, we're being banned, we're being removed or shut down, and most recently, we've had a ban at Discord. And it may seem like it's just us personally complaining, but this is something we're seeing in a lot of different social media outlets. We're seeing this happen to a lot of individuals. And sadly, predominantly, this is happening to individuals who happen to be conservative or Republican, many times libertarians, and a subset of that happen to be individuals like myself who are Black or Hispanic, Black and Hispanic, minorities that step away from the approved messaging that we see on the major mainstream media, like a CNN, like an ABC, like a New York Times, or even Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. The major mainstream media seems to be very dedicated to a certain type of messaging that goes out around the world. And the equivalents in England and France and Germany, all across the world, they all seem to be pushing the same thing. A certain mindset that says only certain conversations, only certain subjects can be discussed, and only in a certain manner. And if you go beyond that, well, then we need to punish those individuals. And those individuals have either their various individual stories and videos removed, or they are unpersoned They are removed site by site, social media platform by platform, and their voices are, well, first they're attacked as being some kind of outrageous, radical outlier, and then they're punished. And very often we even hear people equate being a non-mainstream voice as being, well, you must be a terrorist. You must be some violent extremist radical. And we're seeing that over and over again when it's not true. And I worry because that has a big impact on the world. It has an impact on the way we live our lives. You may recall recently, just in March, we had to fight Disney, and we had to fight Showtime. These are major corporations with tens of thousands of employees, billions of dollars in revenue, and they came after us, a small channel. We're just a mid-sized news channel that is not part of the mainstream media. And they came after us. And we won. We beat those challenges. But then immediately afterwards, we got a challenge from YouTube again. And our channel was struck again. Now, this is interesting because we've been on YouTube for, well, the new iteration, No Soundbites Allowed, has been on YouTube for 10 years. And it's only within the last year and a half that we've been getting strikes, consistently receiving strikes from YouTube and having our content removed. What's changed? We've been on Facebook for over a decade easily, and we are having our content removed. We're having strikes. And then most recently, we started expanding onto alternative media platforms. And like we mentioned, we just were banned by Discord, which I'm going to get into for you. Something is happening, and it's affecting us all. Our voices are being silenced one by one, video by video, content creator by content creator, no matter their history of success. Mind you, when we see errors, as they like to call them, in the mainstream media, like, say, the New York Times denying and outright blocking the New York Post when they spoke about the Hunter Biden laptop, there has been no negative impact on the New York Times or CNN or MSNBC or ABC News. They don't suffer any consequences. They just say, oops, we got the story wrong. So sorry. And they move on with their lives. But for small content creators, well, it's a much harsher punishment. We get our channels deleted. We get our videos removed. Our ability to make money is taken away from us. We are punished. Punitive action is being taken against us to impede our lives and the lives of those who find interest in what we do. That's removed. Information that people may find of interest. On this channel, we have been talking since January about the United States economy and trying to let our viewers know to be prepared. And as it turns out, here we are in April, and we're finding out that everything we were cautious about in January is coming true. And that now we have the White House saying there will be food shortages, that the economy may not grow as well as was initially expected, that inflation is in fact increasing. All things that we said in January, if not before then, but we're a small content creator. We get punished for saying those things and predicting those things, in saying that this is a logical conclusion to make based on the evidence that we have in front of us. We get punished for that. The mainstream media, well, they don't care. Nothing happens to them because they have the approved thought that you're supposed to have, the emotions you're supposed to feel. And this channel and many other small and mid-sized content creators, even some large content creators, well, we get punished. We get punished for doing our job of telling you what's going on, sometimes for just entertaining you. That's not the way that a society moves forward. That's not productive for anyone. And it almost always, invariably, looking at history, when we see governments, multiple governments around the world, and each individual government, when they do this, their society crumbles. It leads to wars. It leads to civil unrest. It's always been a negative for every society, every country, every empire that has ever existed. Why am I talking about this now? I've already gone through and I've taken the YouTube strike shut down for a week and continued to move forward. I've beaten Disney and Showtime in their attempts to shut down our content and to silence our voices. Many other channels didn't. Many other people were bullied by these organizations and they weren't able to survive. But we did. That's great for us. It's still bad for everyone that content that shouldn't have been removed has been. But it's not over. It's not ending. It's continuing to happen. I want to give you an example of what I mean. And this isn't new. I want everyone to know we've been talking about these things for quite some time. We've had years. Most recently, we've seen an upscale of this over recent years. But I want to talk to you about, as an example, BitChute, where we have a lot of content. And yes, it's an alternative medium. We're not as successful as, say, on YouTube or Facebook. That's fine. But today, we just found out, as we were notified, that our content, it hasn't been removed. It hasn't been silenced per se, because our articles are up. This one from March of 2021, except as you can see, we're trying to play the content and it won't play. In fact, we were told, and we thank our viewer for this, they're not allowing this to play. How is that any different than removing the content altogether? How is that not silencing our voice and denying you the ability to hear what we have to say and to make your comment, whether you agree or disagree? We're not trying to silence opposition. We're saying, let our voice be heard. And yet, we can't. Now, we thought, well, maybe that's just one odd video. It happens. Technology can do that. Except then we look through a couple of other videos that we've done, just randomly. And again, we find another video on BitChute. We're trying to play it. It won't play. You are being denied the ability to hear what we have to say, to make comment on what we have to say. Whether you agree with it or not, that's up to you. But the fact that we want to speak about a subject that's important, that people do have an interest in, and they're removing it. How is that positive for anyone? How does that help anyone? Well, that's the question that we wanted to ask Discord, because it appears Discord has a severe problem. Discord wiped out our entire Discord channel. And not only did they take us out and remove our Discord channel, they removed every single person, it appears, that was connected to that had subscribed to our Discord. And it's really interesting to us because there seems to be no basis for it. In fact, this is the letter we received from Discord on April 8th. Discord said, Discord is focused on maintaining a safe and secure environment for our community. We found your content to be in violation of our terms of service or community guidelines. As a result, we've disabled your account for the following reasons. They didn't disable it. They removed it. It's banned. We have been locked out. It's gone. Content does not exist. So it's not disabled. It's gone. They go on to say, your account posted misleading or harmful misinformation or was involved in servers dedicated to this content. I want you to be clear. The content they're talking about, it exists. It's on YouTube right now. The very same content you see on YouTube was the content on my Discord channel. It's the same content that we have on Facebook. That content exists right now. That content is on Minds, and it exists right now. Now, I bring that up for a very specific reason. This is content we have on multiple social media sites. There was no difference other than people saying, I like that story, I don't like that story. Maybe there's another story that we could talk about. But according to Discord, the same information that we have put on Twitter, the same information we have put on YouTube and Facebook and other alternative sites, well, somehow that's misleading or harmful. Keep in mind, the community guidelines, the terms of service on Discord are almost exactly the same as the ones on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, on all social media platforms. And so if you make a violation, and this is why we often see, if a violation is made on one platform, you see that same ban happen to all platforms, which makes us terrified because it looks like the work and effort that we have put in over a decade, over 15 years, may be disappearing overnight. And our biggest problem about this is no one is telling us why. It's one thing to say, okay, you've had misleading information, that this information has not been effective or it's been misleading or it's dangerous. Okay, then what did we say? What was so dangerous? What was so harmful for other human beings to see? To even hear it would somehow damage their lives. Not that they couldn't disagree with it, not that they couldn't respond to it. It's an open forum. We believe in free speech. But it was so dangerous that even hearing the content was something that had to be removed. It was a poison to the mind. That's what Discord is saying. That's what happens when you are shut down or you are banned and you have content that is removed. It is a poison to the mind. And so it must be removed for the safety of individuals. Okay, then what did we do? We asked that question of Discord. And the answer we received was an auto reply from a supposed Clyde. Except Clyde responded to every member of our Discord that we've been speaking to and sent them the same exact response when they said, why was their content, their Discord channel removed? Why were they denied the ability to subscribe to Discord? These are individuals from many countries around the world. And the answer that comes from Discord is, the answer from Clyde is, your account was disabled for violating terms of service or community guidelines. We will not reinstate the account, which means we are banned. It's not disabled. You should have received an email with more information regarding this violation. I just read that to you. No, there is no information. If you have any questions as to what behavior resulted in your account being disabled, refer to that email. That email doesn't tell us anything. Please note that we remove and or anonymize all data associated with deleted accounts 14 to 30 days after the beginning of the deletion process for that account. So again, the account is not disabled, it's deleted. So there is a difference here. Disabled would mean maybe we were shut down, like YouTube shutting us down for a week. That's a content strike, I understand. But they disabled, they removed the content. So they're being somewhat duplicitous. And again, this is their form letter response, like the initial form letter or auto response we received, that tells us nothing. Which makes us afraid, because if Discord can do this instantly for no reason, so can Twitter, so can YouTube, so can Facebook, so can all social media, and this is what is called unpersoning someone. So we asked them. This is an auto response. We want an actual response. Tell us why our channel was removed. What content was poisonous, so poisonous to individuals that they could not hear it, that they could not respond to it, whether they agreed or disagreed. Content that is found at this moment on other major social media sites as we speak that this content exists. What was it that we did? We haven't received an answer yet. And this is something that is, of course, ongoing. And we hope to be able to have an answer. That led us to ask a question, which we put on Facebook and we put on Twitter. And that was, is there a widespread purge happening on Discord right now? In fact, we can ask of social media right now. And we can say, we asked, are the FBI going to be knocking on our door? Are we going to be swatted like we see has happened to Tim Pool? Because it's potentially possible. And we have a great concern about that. We also mentioned on our Twitter, Discord just pulled an Order 66. Emperor Biden must have gotten mad. Or it was the academics in New York, or Kamala, AOC, KBJ, Disney, Showtime. Who else have I pissed off recently? Who didn't I piss off on the left? It's a good question. This is a personal attack on small content creators. And I had to ask another question directly of Discord themselves. Why in the world did you kill my channel without warning or notice when it had content found on 7 other media platforms without issue? Is it because I'm Black, Hispanic, Republican, with a modest but growing audience? It's a significant question. It's a serious question. And I don't have an answer if that's the reason. In fact, I have no understanding of what the reason is. All I know is I have been banned for some unknown cause. And the only thing that I can come to, the only conclusion I can guess, is that this is in reference to something that just happened. That I put out a video about a protest of critical race theory. That video was published on April 8th, a few hours before Discord removed my channel. Now, we've seen across this nation throughout 2020 and 2021, there have been protests that have been deemed mostly peaceful, that have been allowed to occur even as there was a pandemic, even as cities burned down, billions of dollars of damage done to cities across this nation, dozens of people died, and that was deemed mostly peaceful, and that was perfectly fine. But it seems that when I said that I would like to put together a peaceful protest to request people to stand up against critical race theory, well, that seemed to be a line too far, at least for Discord, that to ask people to join me in a peaceful protest, a First Amendment action that is by birth my right and guaranteed protected by the Constitution. When I said that, well, it seems that was a line too far. And for Discord, a Black Hispanic Republican saying that he wants to protest peacefully a critical race theory event at a New York State college, which is paid for by taxpayers, well, that is too far. You have said something that is poisonous to the minds of the public. They didn't do that because people burned down cities. They didn't do that when people died because of the protests going into mob rage across this country. They didn't do that for the far left. But here I am, center right, and they're attacking me for saying I want to peacefully protest an event I do not agree with. There seems to be a double standard here. And I have great trouble trying to figure out why this double standard exists. Again, is it because I'm Black? Is it because I'm Hispanic? Is it because I'm a Republican at the same time? Is it because I dare to say something that is not approved, that it doesn't match the ideology coming from the mainstream media and from certain politicians? Is that the reason why? Is that such a dangerous and poisonous thing to let people know that a Black Republican exists, that a Black Hispanic can be against critical race theory? Because that's one of the conclusions you may have. Now, another conclusion you may come to is, well, someone sabotaged the attack. They attacked us. Was it Disney? Was it Showtime because they're upset that they failed in their attempts to silence our voice? Was it from Facebook or YouTube that put pressure on Discord? Was it from some individual who saw this and rather than saying, I don't agree with your event, they decided that they should silence us instead, that they should remove our content from social media? Is that what's happened? Because I can't tell. There's no way to know. But what I can say is in March, from Disney, from Showtime, from YouTube, now here on Discord, we're being attacked. We're being targeted. And it's very possible that our YouTube channel, our Facebook channel, our Twitter, all of the social media that we have out there, all of the content that we have done for 15 years may be attacked. That we could be subject to swatting just like Tim Pool because someone doesn't agree. Whether that someone is an executive in one of these social media companies or an individual who happens to be left-leaning and doesn't like what we've had to say. That's not how freedom is supposed to work. That's not how the First Amendment is supposed to work. Now, if Discord could actually point to something that we actually said, something that we actually did that violated the terms, provided misinformation, or was dangerous to the minds of those who consumed it, fine. We can understand that and we can live with that. Those are the terms of service. But no other platform sees that. And I'm willing to tell you that we're not the only ones this is happening to. We're the ones speaking about it at the moment because due to luck or timing, we're able to reach you right now and tell you about this. But how many other small content creators don't have the additional reach? How many content creators out there don't know that they can fight against a Disney, a Showtime, a YouTube, a Twitter, a Discord, who don't think that they have the money or the time to be able to do that? How many people are being bullied and silenced and having their First Amendment rights not just denied, but stomped on, violated? How many people are now being cowed into silence in finding out about these things and going, I won't start a new YouTube channel. I won't comment on that tweet or that post on Facebook. I won't watch that video because somebody may be upset. Somebody may attack me. I won't comment on that video or that post. I won't make a statement because somebody may see it and they're going to punish me just like Discord has punished this channel, just like YouTube punished this channel, like Disney and Showtime and Facebook have repeatedly been trying to punish this channel. This isn't about us. I wish it were. It would be a simple answer. We're seeing this happen on multiple social media outlets, on multiple channels to individuals of black, white, women, conservatives, libertarians. We're seeing a directed push, a directed attack. We're standing up to it. We're asking for answers. We're fighting for our First Amendment right, and we will continue to do so because that's the right thing to do. But we have no illusion. We may lose. We may be silenced. All of our work for 15 years may disappear on every platform out there. We're not going away because people don't want to hear what we have to say, because people who agree or disagree don't want to comment. It's because a small group of elites at major corporations have decided you don't have the choice. You don't have the right. Your freedom is not as important as their feelings. That's not good for society. That's not good for America. We hope to be wrong. We hope that Discord makes amends and reverses their decision. or at the very least, provides us with evidence of exactly what they consider to be misinformation, what they consider to be poison to the minds of those who see or hear information, and actions that no other social media channel is doing at this time, because that would be good for the First Amendment. That would be good for you, the audience, and you, the small and mid-sized content creator. If this is intact because I'm black, or because I'm a black Hispanic, or because I'm a Republican at the same time, if they can come after me, why won't they come after you? But we look forward to hearing what you have to say about it. Have you heard about other small and mid-sized content creators that have been removed over the last 2 months? Have you yourself had your content silenced, removed, deleted, banned, even though it may be innocuous? Are you being targeted because of your politics or your race or your gender or your sexual preference? Speak up. Let us know. How do you feel?